Good afternoon and welcome to a demonstration of the Style Transfer Design AI project. We at the User Interfaces group of Aalto University have been doing an interesting joint research project sponsored by Huawei Technologies. This project aims to develop a software tool that can make or design automated graphical user interfaces by transformation from a rough draft. Let me explain. Imagine that you are working with some big corporate organization, and in this company someone has asked you to develop a new user interface. The idea has been captured in a very rough, very quick draft, something like what you are seeing on the screen. No one has taken care of alignment, no one has taken care of guidelines, no one has taken care of beautification. It's just a capture of the idea of a person on what a new GUI should look like. Great. Imagine that in your company we have some senior, highly experienced designer. He comes up, has one look at this draft and says that, hey, just a few months ago or a few years ago, we had developed another layout which looked something like this, not very similar, but looked something similar to this. And can the same idea, same principle, same draft be used over here? He dropped up and removed this particular example. This is an existing layout which was developed by the company, a good layout that the company likes. Now the designer that we had been using earlier, he takes this rough draft, he takes this previous design and he applies the style of the previous design to the rough draft that we were making and effectively creates a new draft which is well aligned, better looking and most of all which already satisfies all the principles and design guidelines as told by the company. Whatever you are seeing over here in front of you, whatever process that I described, we now have a software platform that can automate this entire process with a design AI. What we are doing is something like this. We are calculating the logical difference between any pair of layouts and we use that to calculate or find the logical equivalent from the library for a given rough draft. So someone gives you a rough draft and someone gives you a library of very good layouts. Find out the best match for that rough draft from the library. Next, transform that UI design completely from the rough draft to the final design as required, satisfying all guidelines, satisfying all company specific rules and also a well aligned good layout that will be acceptable for all persons. Finally, we allow a recursive modification by the designer, as in designer can go in again, make some changes, add some more components and again find the equivalent from the library and apply the design again. No problems, this is a recursive process. Let's look at how it works. What we are showing over here is we have a rough draft that you are seeing over here on the screen. It's not aligned, it has just been capturing some ideas from someone, it's not something great to look at. We go to the tool, this UI design assistant tool is the AI that we have been developing and we ask it to load the layouts from the library. The tool suggests that this particular layout being shown over here might be the best available match for the rough draft being developed. You will already notice that the rough draft has got quite different components as compared to what you are seeing on the screen. And yet it is definitely possible for our system to apply this style over here to this draft over here. When our system analyzes both of them, it finds that if we were to accept this idea, then the possible new layout will look something like this. If we like it and we click it to accept this particular suggestion, we are going to get a rearrangement of the screen. As you can see in the modified layout, several things have been moved around on the screen, several things have been resized. This has been done in accordance with the rules followed by that company, good design guidelines and also alignment principles that were to be suggested. Our tool effectively is giving several capabilities. Number one, it allows the system to utilize standard UI components from previous work done in that company. Second, it shows good existing designs and can transfer the existing designs to a selected rough draft that we are making. Third, it gives the facility of auto completion, as in if we are currently making a design, a few text boxes, buttons or elements have been placed on the screen. What is the next element to add? If this is the next element to add, where does it go and sit and how should it be best aligned with the existing elements? So it assists in doing that process also. While doing this, it enforces adherence to the design guidelines, the preset rules, and finally, it also allows improvements based on feedback from the designer. We have got several components for this. We use number one, a design library, that is a library of well-edited, well-curated designs that were accepted by the organization. We provide a tool for mapping which says that given this rough partial draft, this is the best relevant design from the library. We can actually visualize the library in terms of a high-level distribution, we can classify it, we can actually place new candidates in that overall background. Most important, we can do the design transfer, that is given two designs or two layouts A and B, we can transform A into the style of B. And lastly, we have a personalizer which allows us to improve ongoing designs based on mapping and based on transfer from implicit or explicit designs from the designer. Thank you.